blokes just stood round. What the hell are they doing?
I don't know if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down. What was that?
What would you do if strangers gathered around your van at midnight, or you returned to find its window smashed in a foreign city? These camping encounters turned ordinary trips into moments of real fear. On March the 18th, 2025, Brendan from the YouTube channel Brendan Explores recorded a camper van trip through southern England. His channel focuses on van life, road travel, and overnight stops. After his first campsite failed, he reached Reservoir after dark, expecting a quiet place to sleep.
Horrible weather. Okay. Right. Okay. We're now level. We're home for the evening. Finally. What a job. What a job. That's where we are. Ibrook Corner. We are right on the edge of this reservoir here, which as for tonight, we can't see at all because it's pitch black. And we're in. Oh, that was a rough drive. Oh, I'm knackered now. After using the leveling blocks, we're still not 100% level. You can see putting that down there, but it's good enough for tonight, and it means that at least with my head at that end of the bed, let's get the diesel heater on because it is fast approaching freezing outside. Demolish the last bit of that pie. Good pie, that. Good pie. Oh damn. Oh damn. That looks good. Oh yeah. One slice of cheese there. And one slice of cheese there. Look at that. Oh, the smell. That is incredible. The sweetness of the barbecue and the apple coming through there, and a slight kick of the pepper, and then the cheese just tops it off nicely. Enjoy the rest of these, and I'll bring you back shortly.
In heavy rain and darkness, Brennan reaches a remote parking area beside Ibrook Reservoir. He places leveling blocks beneath the wheels, turns on the heater, cooks dinner, and settles down for the night. The area appears almost empty. The quiet ends when an unfamiliar car enters the parking area and stops close to the van.
It's coming towards the van with a head torch on. Someone's at the back of the van. What the hell is this person doing? He's just sat there. The headlights shine at the van. There was absolutely no reason why anyone should be down this road at this time of night unless they're camping. That's a car, not a van. Another car's just pulled up. A couple of blokes just stood round. What the hell are they doing? It's turning into the complete opposite. Someone else has bloody pulled in now. Why are they coming that close? This is weird. We've got another one turning up. What the hell?
Its engine remains running while its headlights shine toward Brendan's vehicle. A person wearing a head torch gets out and walks toward the rear of the van. Brendan watches from inside as the stranger looks around near his vehicle. He cannot understand why the person has approached. Soon, a second car arrives, followed by a third. Several people get out and gather in the darkness. They talk near the vehicles and slowly move closer to Brendan's position. Brendan is alone and badly outnumbered. His fear comes from not knowing the group's intentions. They may only be meeting there, but they could also be watching his van. He cannot clearly see what they are doing, and no one explains why so many vehicles have arrived at the same remote place. As the group remains nearby, Brendan feels he is losing control of the situation. He decides that waiting is not worth the risk. However, the leveling blocks prevent him from leaving immediately. He must step outside into the cold rain, remove them from beneath the wheels, return to the driver's seat, and drive away, while the strangers are still nearby.
What's this here? This looks like what I saw on Park for Night. Oh, damn it. That's my door. Oh. Okay, spot number 2 for the evening. Not a bad little spot, this. No. I thought they'd follow me down here then. How shit would that have been? But no, I'm happy with this. This looks like a nice little spot. Right underneath a tree. Playground to the back of us. And no one else here. Nice and quiet. This I can live with.
Brendan later finds a flat parking space beside a basketball court and a children's play area in a small residential neighborhood. He spends the rest of the night there without another incident. The next morning, despite the freezing weather and sleet, he says he slept well. He also warns viewers not to stay overnight at Ibrook Reservoir, especially on a Saturday night. Some viewers believe Brendan had entered a private late-night meeting spot, while others thought it was only a car gathering. Many also warned that leveling blocks can delay a quick departure. Were the strangers harmless, or did Brendan leave before the situation became more serious? On April 25, 2026, the creator behind Cam Prime documented a solo overnight stay in a remote bamboo forest. His channel focuses on car camping, outdoor cooking, and quiet nights in isolated places. The trip began peacefully, but the darkness outside his van soon felt less empty. Cam Prime drives through heavy rain and stops in a small clearing deep inside the bamboo forest. He prepares the sleeping area and leaves the rear door slightly open because of the heat. Beyond it, the bamboo is almost completely dark.
Bye-bye.
He cooks dinner while the rain continues. During the meal, he suddenly looks toward the forest and thinks he sees a human shape between the bamboo. After watching for a moment, he tells himself it was probably his imagination. Still uneasy, Cam Prime pours Hibiki whiskey and watches the horror movie Lights Out on a projector. The movie rain and darkness make the feeling of someone outside harder to ignore. Thinking someone may need help, he puts on a jacket, takes an umbrella and flashlight, and steps outside. He searches the nearby bamboo, but finds no person or clear source of movement. Then he hears a strange sound through the rain. It resembles a woman crying somewhere beyond the flashlight beam. At the same time, the light begins to flicker. The crying becomes clearer and seems to move closer. Cam Prime looks around, but still sees no one. His fear comes from being alone outside while an unknown sound appears to approach through the dark forest. Unable to identify the source, he quickly returns to the van. He closes the rear door, pulls the curtain shut, and blocks his view of the bamboo. Back inside, Cam Prime stores his equipment, climbs into his sleeping bag, and leaves a lamp on. Despite the encounter, he remains there until morning. The next day, rain is still falling, but the forest looks calm again. Cam Prime prepares a hot sandwich and coffee while thinking about the night before. He cannot explain the possible figure or the crying sound, but believes something was near the van. After breakfast, he packs up and drives away. Some viewers suggested an owl or another night animal. Others believe the rain, alcohol, darkness, and horror movie may have affected his senses. Several also questioned why he stayed, if the crying was real. Was it a natural sound, or was the encounter created for the video? What happened to Dan during his first solo camping trip stayed with him long afterward. On February 21st, 2025, the YouTube channel Sort of Interesting shared footage from his first solo wild camp. He had planned a peaceful rainy night in the woods, but instead found himself hiding in darkness from a stranger carrying a flashlight. Dan moved through the forest after nightfall with a faint light and a heavy backpack.
I've been walking for about an hour at this point, and it really is amazing the difference that the backpack has made. Using a much dimmer light is starting to make me think I'm sure I can hear stuff and see little flashes and that. I'm sure I can't, but I can't be sure in here. At this point, I thought I would see if I could find a nice big flat stone or somewhere safe that I could set up my stove and make myself some pasta, pesto and cheese. So I thought, yeah, put the torch onto full beam and get some visually interesting spooky woodland footage. And well, did I get some spooky footage.
Alone in the darkness around him. After nearly an hour on foot, he paused to prepare food and turned his flashlight to full power to film the trees surrounding him. That single choice changed the night. A car stopped on the road above the woods, and a bright beam began moving slowly between the trees, heading directly toward his position.
I was just shining the torch around on full beam, showing like the woods to the camera. Some car somewhere on a road up there stopped, and I swear a torch shone into the trees, obviously from well above my head. Oh man, my heart is going. I swear the car that I just mentioned pulled up and somebody has got out. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I'm trying to tell myself that, but I am really, oh my goodness me. This isn't fun, this. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I don't know if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down. Can you see this on the ground? They're literally looking straight at me. I know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm literally crouched. I'm sat.
Dan crouched down and became completely silent, believing someone above was searching for something inside the forest. The beam continued sweeping from side to side until the vehicle eventually pulled away. He changed to a red light to reduce his visibility and continued climbing toward higher ground, covering 16 miles before the night ended.
90% certain they drove in that direction. I decided to proceed along the road on my intended route to escape into the hills as quick as possible, and I'll be honest, at this point I've got that horrible adrenaline sensation in my chest, but I'm just constantly talking, I think, trying to reassure myself and make myself feel better and calmer.
Dan managed to leave without being noticed, and later found a safer place to settle for the night. Still, one question stayed with him. Who was the man inside that car, and what exactly had he been trying to find alone in those dark woods? On July 31st, 2024, the YouTube channel Romany Pirates uploaded a video documenting a van life journey filled with adventure, honesty, and the realities of life on the road. In this video, however, the trip suddenly became stressful and emotional. After a tense drive through central Seville, with motorbikes cutting across traffic, constant honking, and even an ambulance approaching from the wrong direction, they finally reached the city. They hoped to visit a local market and experience some of Seville's character. At first, the architecture caught their attention, and many of the buildings they passed looked beautiful.
So we've arrived in Seville after a really awful, stressful journey through the city. Absolute chaos. Bikes pulling in front of you, cars beeping everywhere. Then an ambulance came down wrong side of the road towards me, so I was swerving out of where that. And now we're in Seville looking for this market again. Obviously we don't like cities, but coming through, glancing at some of the buildings were gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. It's really spread out, like it looks like gorgeous, but you'd have to walk miles. It's really, really spread out. We'll give you a flash of all the buildings that we saw driving through, and that's about as much as you're going to see.
Oh, just don't like cities, it's just far, far too busy. We're literally going to find this market and then get out of here. Sorry, Sevilla, or whatever you're called, but it's not for us.
Their purpose was to visit a market that had received considerable praise. Once they arrived, however, the excitement quickly disappeared. The market had only 4 small stalls, and most offered factory-produced leather items instead of truly handmade products. The charming market they had imagined looked very different in person, but their disappointment turned into something far worse when they returned to their van. Although it was parked on what seemed like a quiet upscale street, they discovered a disturbing scene. Someone had smashed the side window, leaving broken glass scattered everywhere. The break-in felt deeply personal. They had not chosen a hidden alley or broken any parking rules. They had paid to park on a respectable street, yet someone still entered their vehicle.
Just got back to van and windows being smashed, and I just don't even know what to say, Reece. I just really don't know what to say.
It's okay, we'll sort it.
I just don't know why people do stuff like this. I absolutely hate cities, and you don't get this when you go to a small place, and I hate this. It's meant to be a posh place, and it's Seville. It's not a nice place, is it? Clearly. We're parked on a really posh street. We paid for parking. We haven't even parked on any back streets. I don't even know if they're taking anything. We're going to have to call police.
I don't believe it. I don't want to touch anything, obviously, because look, it's all sharp here and everything. I don't know why they've broken in.
Let me have a look. Let me use my cardigan. Not the little fingerprint out, will they?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're literally just saying now what a day, what a couple of days this has been. First with the fruit and literally just saying that, turned corner and I said, oh my God, it's been smashed.
It was all glass in my bloody electrics.
Right.
Their first reaction was a mixture of shock, anger, and disbelief. At first, they could barely process what had happened. There was no clear reason for the break-in, and nothing valuable appeared to be missing. Still, someone had searched through their belongings, while the shattered side window left the van exposed and unsafe in a foreign city, where they already felt uncomfortable. Contacting the police offered little reassurance. After calling the emergency number, they were told to end the call and report the incident in person at the nearest police station. They received no advice about whether driving the damaged van was legal or safe, which only added to their stress.
Hello, thank you. I've just got back to my van parked. We're in Seville. We've just got back to the van and somebody smashed all the side window of the van. We've just come back and it's just the whole window's smashed through. Somebody smashed it. We've got no idea if we're probably going to need a crime number for the insurance. We are next to a park. I'll just get the name of the park up for you. Casa Ella Adam, the police station near you.
Plaza, There is a police station there. You can report it there.
Right, okay. I'm not sure how to secure my van.
Thank you very much for your call, madam. I'm afraid we need to hang up because this is the emergency line.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, madam. Goodbye.
What did they say?
I don't know if we're allowed to drive it with the window smashed, and I need to get off the line because it's an emergency line.
The situation became even more difficult when they located a nearby glass repair business and discovered it had closed early. Their insurance included breakdown assistance and European coverage, but it did not cover theft or damaged glass. The incident seemed to confirm every concern they had about crowded cities. Even so, they cleared away the broken glass, tried to calm down, and considered what to do next. None of their options felt simple. They could stay, leave, or risk driving the van while it remained damaged. The only thing they knew was that the area no longer felt safe. Do you think the intruder wanted something specific, or was this simply a random break-in targeting an unfamiliar van? The next video comes from Our Way to Rome, a US-based nomadic channel following Savannah and Drew as they travel full-time in a converted expedition vehicle. Their videos show overland trips alongside the challenges of off-grid living. On February 20th, 2023, they were staying at a BLM camping area in Arizona.
Uncomfortable. He pulled up on a dirt road. It was fairly rocky. It was the limit of our bus. We look over and he's on a motorcycle.
The encounter begins with something unusual. A man approaches their isolated campsite on a cruiser-style motorcycle. That detail stands out because the terrain is poorly suited for that type of bike. Before he even speaks with them, his arrival already feels out of place.
And it wasn't like a pocket knife. It was like a hunting knife. It was gigantic. And he's talking about how he needs it for protection and all this stuff, and then he just kind of stops talking, and he's not saying anything. And this silence just lasted forever. I start to think to myself.
Then the situation becomes more serious. The man reaches inside his jacket and removes a large knife. He makes no sudden attack, but revealing the weapon changes the entire interaction.
Confirmed that we were both feeling extremely uncomfortable. We decided to pack up our camp and leave. We knew he had a weapon. We were feeling pretty isolated. We just added up all of these little
Whatever explanation he gives no longer matters because displaying the knife creates a sense of danger. Drew avoids confronting him and instead focuses on a safe exit. They find a reason to end the conversation without provoking the stranger, making distance their priority. Once the man leaves, they do not remain at the campsite. Despite the darkness, difficult ground, and inconvenience, they depart immediately. That choice removes the uncertainty. The danger is not based on strange sounds or unclear evidence, but on behavior. An unusual arrival, an uncomfortable exchange, a visible weapon, and a lingering presence. Nothing violent happens, yet every detail suggests something could have gone wrong. Exploring with Brad follows outdoor adventures and unexplained encounters across Ontario, Canada. The channel features hiking routes, historical landmarks, and places associated with unusual reports. On May 7, 2026, Brad camped alone near the Bigfoot TP before visiting Fort Willow after sunset. The site was a War of 1812 military depot constructed over swampy ground. One soldier was executed there for treason, while dozens of others died from illness. Few people stay in the area overnight, but Brad decided to do exactly that.
I'm really glad to being out in the nice sunny weather again. It is beautiful out today. I've had weird experiences here. So one back at Hogs Falls. Another place that we'll be visiting later tonight will be the ghost town Fort Willow. So Be sure to check that out. It's a very like haunted location. And then we'll be back at Bigfoot Teepee doing the sleep experiment as always. I've been having a lot of good feedback from that.
As he sat alone beside the campfire, Brad noticed movement coming from the opposite side of the structure.
Yeah, I keep hearing movement, guys. Like this is weird. I don't know what's going on. There's movement going on this side of the fort. Hold on. What is this?
He called toward the sound. Moments later, something struck the side of the fort with considerable force. Brad searched the area with his flashlight, but nothing appeared to be there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. Like, I just kept hearing sounds coming from over this way. What was that? Yo, that creeped me right out. I'm gonna stick by the fire though. Like, I don't feel like leaving. Like, I don't want to be too far away, you know?
Later, a powerful crash nearby suddenly woke him in his hammock. He grabbed his camera and began looking around while the entire structure creaked around him.
Oh man, what the hell was that? Oh, freak. I don't know if it caught it. I don't know if the camera caught anything. Oh, there's something going on. I don't see anything.
Another hard impact hit the fort. A second strike then came from another direction. Brad repeatedly turned around, struggling to determine where the sounds were coming from.
It sounded like something was on the other side of the fort. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm hearing a pile of sounds. There's something here. There's something going on. I literally heard something just took a smack at the side of the teepee. I mean, at the fort.
Soon afterward, he heard what sounded like a scream somewhere in the darkness beyond the fort. Unable to remain there, Brad gathered his equipment and left the location.
Oh, freak! Oh man, what the hell was that? Oh, shoot! What was that? What was that? Oh my god. Something's playing games with me, man. Things are creaking. I don't know what to do, guys.
After dark, at Fort Willow, Brad entered one of the old tunnel structures alone. The inside was completely black. While standing there, he heard something hitting the tunnel wall from outside, or possibly from above. The sound seemed to come from directly behind the wall beside him.
Oh, man.
Brad started moving toward the exit. As he stepped out of the tunnel, something suddenly landed on the ground directly beside him. He could not see what had fallen in the darkness. He only heard the sound of it dropping from somewhere overhead.
Whoa, holy crap, man. Let's go.
Brad screamed and immediately ran from the tunnel. He continued until he had placed a safe distance between himself and the area. When he finally stopped and spoke again, he was still breathing heavily.
Oh, somebody jumped on the other side. Oh, freak sakes, somebody jumped. Oh man, that was freaky. Let's go. Oh, freak sakes. Oh man, that scared the living freaking hell out of me. It sounded like a person on top of the tunnel, but I didn't see anyone. And whatever it was, it landed next to me.
Darkness can make sound direction difficult to judge because echoes may bounce off walls, trees, and solid structures. This can make a distant noise appear much closer or come from a different direction. The impacts may have come from one source moving around the structures, but the object that landed beside Brad remains unexplained. What do you think was following him through these locations? The next unsettling video comes from The Cryptid Rig, a channel combining solo stealth camping van life and paranormal investigations. It uses thermal cameras and trail cameras to record remote wilderness areas. On April 16, 2026, the creator camps at the Mogollon Rim in Arizona, United States. As darkness settles over the rim, he remains focused on signs of wildlife feeding activity and possible bears near camp. However, the atmosphere changes because of the landscape itself. The wide drop along the rim leaves him exposed, creating the sense that he can be seen from every direction. With cold wind crossing the terrain, the open space begins to feel less freeing and more watchful.
Okie dokie. Since we're camping out here in Arizona, I'll tell you a little tale here about the Mogollon Rim Monster, the Wild Man of Arizona. This story and the illustration are from a newspaper called the Ann Arbor Argus Democrat. This story took place in Mojave County, Arizona, and it's at the extreme lower end of the Grand Canyon. And just so you don't think I'm in the wrong place, this is a map of monster sightings I got off the internet. And here's the rim, there's the Grand Canyon. These big ovals are where people have seen monsters in Arizona. So IW saw a weird guy, strange neighbor, sitting out there on a boulder, and he said he finally succeeded in approaching closer, and he saw a man with long white hair and a matted beard that reached to his knees, and he gazed on him for some moments unobserved. He was about 50 yards away and in full view, wore no clothing, and had talon-like fingers, claws at least 2 inches long. He also said that this creature had a coat of gray hair that covered his entire body. Now in this account, he said, "I had found the wild man of the rocks." Now that indicates that there had been stories leading up to this account.
The story becomes more intense when the described figure responds aggressively. It releases a loud cry and moves quickly across ground that should make such speed difficult. The account emphasizes its agility, power, and control. Then the figure vanishes, leaving no ending or proof, only the disturbing idea that it may have been there.
Scary. All right, it's scary up here. Good morning, crows.
Later, the environment shifts as he moves down into the trees below. The setting changes from open ground to enclosed forest. Sound movement and distance become harder to judge. The rim felt exposed, but the woods feel tight as though something could be nearby instead of watching from far away. Open landscapes can make a person feel visible, while dense forest can block sightlines and distort where sounds seem to come from. This case offers no confirmed encounter, yet the changing terrain keeps increasing tension. Was the fear caused only by the environment, or was something nearby? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.